So, what's your sacred animal of the Ninjetti, and what part of the Megazord does it form?
Goddamn knew that was the exact thing you were going to ask. So I was spent last night going, what animal would I be? And I ran in circles, and the fucking animal that kept coming to the forefront of my brain, baboon.
Baboon!
Oh,
Baboon.
mighty baboon.
Mighty baboon. Is he going to have that robot butt?
He's going to have that big, shiny red butt,
Fuck yeah.
which means I'm the butt of the Zord.
You are butt of the Megazord. You sort of just clamber on and put your arms around the waist, like a fanny pack on backwards.
With severe jiggling power.
You scooch onto the ass. and Ivan who's recoils in fear, rightly so.
Good. What about you?
Maybe it's fitting. This is purely reactive to Sean's, but maybe I should be the noble bonobo and
the most
the fucking monkey.
The fucking monkey, the species that most people point to in order to prove that it's not just humans who are fucked up sexually.
Yeah. So then I leap in on all fours, and I look like I'm leaping straight for the butt of the Zord, and I kind of do, and I latch on, but then I kind of I fit in onto the taint of the Zord, and then
between the legs.
My big bonobo balls just hang free between the legs.
And we've now coined the term taint Zord.
Now I'll never be able to strike at the taint. My usual strategy.
Me, Ivan is nasty boy.
Make my taint grow. That also missed the Brady Bunch reunion. I'm Paul Balkanskull.
I'm Skydiver Billy.
We are marching zombie-like through Recommendations Month, and joining us is fellow oozed man Sean Flierl.
There you go. That's my audition.
It's very convincing. I really bought it. Please tell us your name, your podcasts, what you hope to gain from today's session, and something you're looking forward to over the summer.
Oh, this is like a little fill-in form that I get to do now, being on OGT. Hello, everyone.
This is an icebreaker I like to do.
My name is Sean Flierl. I am from Baby Beard Media, and we're a bunch of Aussie actors and rapscallions that do a tabletop role-playing podcast known as Roll to Cast, ROLE, where we play a different system every season with original music. Oh, I can't remember the name of the person that does the music at the moment. Oh, it's that Goodman
Massive
boy.
Twat. Oh, it's me.
Paul Goodboy.
Paul Goodboy.
Oh, he's great.
Good boy to me.
I had to sue him because of the adjacency of namings, but he won.
Sued me as well. This is my final podcast.
I'm Paul Shitface. Yeah.
What were your other two questions? What am I looking forward to? Sleep.
Sleep is going to be something that we're all going to be doing a lot over the summer. And what do you hope to gain from today's session?
Oh, a healthy disrespect for this film after the wave of nostalgia that's hit me over the last 24 hours since I decided to do this film.
Sean has, I think, come full circle back to our first Baby Beard episode, Surf Ninjas, by recommending another 90s martial arts family movie, because that used to happen a lot.
And also, like, another film directly from my childhood. This film is way too close to me.
I love that you still feel safe sharing these things with us.
I really shouldn't.
Yes, it's Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers, the movie.
Yes.
This summer, our world will come under attack by the most evil force ever known. He has armies at his command, and only one power on Earth can stop him.
We're the Power Rangers.
Oh, where's my autograph book?
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie.
Prolific television director Brian Spicer makes his feature film debut with this 1995 adaptation of the 90s series, itself an adaptation? Collage?
Yeah, borrowing.
Amalgamation of the Japanese superhero franchise Super Sentai. Basically, anything where they were in Power Ranger uniforms was footage from the Japanese show. The film was received by critics with bewilderment, frankly, but also critical scorn. Sick of the blood, sick of the thugs, sick of the wrath of the next man's grudge. Robert Ebert at Chicago Sun-Times says. I'm trying to take his references to Roger Ebert to a sadder kind of when will the killing stop kind of place.
And we're all better
like
for
an
it.
Eminem in his 40s kind of place.
Exactly that kind of energy. He said, "What depresses me unutterably, Roger, is that children who are fresh and inquisitive will go to this movie, and for 88 minutes the movie will do what it can to deaden their imaginations. The movie is like a little unkindness done to its victims."
Was Roger Ebert, was he like cut from the film or something? That feels like riddled with just malice.
Pieces of shit cut me.
I was Ivan Ooze.
My awesome flips.
Can you not see that gold armored bird line thing was clearly the critic surrogate? He was the Bob Balaban of the movie.
You mean Goldar?
Goldar.
That's the one.
That is how Roger Ebert used to deliver his reviews.
I have no fun in life.
I can't stand this movie.
Public, meanwhile, fucking loved it because it's great, right?
Sure.
Peter Lucas at Google said, "This is the greatest movie ever. All the critics with negative reviews about this movie do not understand the Power Rangers universe. Positive."
Yeah, fuck them.
He literally ended his review with just the word positive.
Positive.
Christ, I'm leaving.
I think that's the 90s equivalent of the word word, which is weird because I thought word was the 90s equivalent of the word word.
How I'm going to end all my sentences
Positive.
now. Positive.
What's the 90s equivalent of the word positive?
Cowabunga.
Word? Yeah, it was Cowabunga. Do I need to plug the battery in with Cowabunga end up top? Why not?
I don't know. I'm only Tony Blair. I hate the 90s.
Oh, Jesus. The film has 37% on Rotten Tomatoes, 40 on Metacritic, and made over 4 times its budget back.
Wow.
Now,
£10.
£10. Now, we should briefly explain Power Rangers for anyone who was born in the last 25 years. Christ, I'm old.
Go for it, Paul. It's all yours.
I do remember an internet movie guy once remarking, "I can't understand why Power Rangers was so popular." Alright, well, let's have a look at this premise. An attractive and surprisingly diverse bunch of teenagers with attitude pursue their interests and attraction to each other in a parentless, always sunny California high school and are regularly called upon to become powerful superheroes who wield ninja weapons and laser pistols against crazy-looking monsters sent by a space witch, and when things get out of hand, they summon individual, personalized robot dinosaurs who transform into an even bigger robot with a cool sword, and they have access to the biggest robot dinosaur yet, who is also a tank. And somehow this appealed to kids.
That's weird. Was it written by Nabokov?
You blew my goddamn mind. Where the fuck are their parents?
Oh yeah, there were no parents in Angel Grove.
They're like the ones in Cow and Chicken. It was just disgusting, but like real life, legs only humans.
So disgusting they edited them out
Yeah.
of every single episode. Too upsetting.
Can't show that. Not on kids' TV.
Oh Christ. Anyway, this is the third movie I ever saw at the cinema. I was obsessed with the Power Rangers as a kid. I had all the deluxe Megazords from the original series through to Turbo, which is where I stopped watching. I had all the VHS tapes, including Alpha's Magical Christmas.
Great.
I even had the Tiger Electronics handheld game. So, yeah, I can't wait to get back into this and enjoy all the innocence of my childhood.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that's not Jason, Zach, or Trini.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm sure those actors left happily and properly paid. Just as I'm sure that none of the cast experienced poor work conditions or homophobia. Not in my childhood thing.
Nope. Not in the 90s.
It's a happy
Not
time.
in the 90s.
Look away. Look away.
Happy.
I gotta say, it is the thing that looking back traumatizes me the most. It seems like they all had such a shit time making this series
I know.
and this film. The fact that David Yost, so Billy, the reason
Oh,
he
man.
didn't do
My favourite.
he didn't
Yeah.
do Turbo is like, do I do another 6 months of filming, or do I not have homophobia slurled at me every day of
Yeah.
my life?
From the fucking producers.
Oh, Christ.
I like to think he didn't receive any from his fellow Power Rangers.
Well, he's
who are
he's
just
still got a
balls of
really
positive energy.
he's got a lovely relationship with Kimberly. Kimberly and
Oh.
Billy still are friends today. It's very wholesome.
Amy Jo Johnson.
Yeah.
So, King Sean, you ruler of the universe. What's one thing about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, that made you want to crush them like roaches? By which I obviously mean, why did you recommend this?
Yes, thank you for clarifying that. I know it's taken me years to figure out what the fuck that sentence means, but I'm there. I've got it. I'm like you,
understand the
man.
balls now.
It's probably my earliest film memory is the Power Rangers
Oh, wow.
franchise and the series in general. I was obsessed with this. I imagined to myself what color I would be as the sixth Ranger. I'm the sixth Ranger because fuck Tommy. I hated
yeah.
Tommy. I always hated Tommy.
Aw.
Fucking love Tommy.
I've
Fucking
warmed to
favourite.
Tommy.
Tommy took leadership away from Jason.
Yeah, Jason didn't have much to do after Tommy showed up is the thing. It's like, oh, we need
No.
a cool, stoic leader type. Well, this guy's cool and stoic and a bit dark. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Guess I'm Team Jacob now.
And he's
I'll
awesome.
be over here then.
Yeah. Wanking.
But no,
I know.
kind of similar to Surf Ninjas, which is the first film that I brought to you many 6,000 years ago when I first roamed the earth.
When we were young and new.
I'm surprised.
I was interested to see if my favorite childhood films would hold up. So far, I've been pleasantly surprised that they don't hold up.
Yeah.
So Power Rangers, I was really interested to know, like, could it pass the Sean test?
Could it pass that famously difficult Sean test? Goods, how about you?
Yeah, I grew up watching Power Rangers on
cool.
Saturday mornings. I remember, I remember key moments and forget important details. So, did Tommy appear was he green and then became the white or gold?
He was
White.
the Green Ranger, introduced in episode 17 of the first season. I know this because I just watched it. And then he had his green powers drained by a weird candle, and then later came back as the White Ranger. And it was a big mystery as to who it might be.
That was And as a kid though, who could it possibly?
Skull?
So is it Billy? Yeah, and he came back, and that was the crowning moment for me. Just fucking love Power Rangers. I gotta say, I don't remember loving the movie as a kid. I don't remember hating it, but I don't remember feeling anything about
Interesting. I remember loving it so much that when I got it for my, what must have been, if this was 95, 8th birthday, 7th birthday even, and I remember getting it and being so excited, I tore the cellophane off of the videotape and accidentally pulled the spiel of tape out as well, and the disappointment on realizing I'd ruined the VHS tape was like one of my earliest memories of being sad.
The defining moment.
I was so excited I just broke the VHS in half with my bare hands.
Literally tore it out of the box.
You broke it in your teeth. No, I remember, when I was a kid, I remember jumping out of the cinema after watching The Mask or, things like that and being in love with it. I don't remember anything about my reaction to the Power Rangers movie.
I do, and we shall come to some of those as we go, but we should get into a plot description. Yeah, what happens in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie?
Starts off with a bunch of skydiving, doesn't it? Because
Fuck yeah.
I want to just reel
Radical.
it back a second. I want to just reel back from the excitement for a second.
Oh, yeah,
because it starts with a fucking text crawl and a voiceover.
Yes!
Yes!
New
Both.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Gotta quickly catch up on 3 seasons worth.
And you've got to, really just introduce some kids to the idea that people pronounce things all sorts of ways.
Centuries ago, a legendary interdimensional being known as Bordon came to the city of Angel Grove to establish a command center for his never-ending struggle against evil.
This is for the people in the crowd who did want to learn about Power Rangers but had left it till now.
This was before Wikipedia. It was very hard for parents to catch up.
Yeah.
So what is all this? Is any of this?
So the 6 of the Power Rangers are skydiving together, and it's important to note they're all skydiving solo, which means that they have skydove. What is the past tense? They have skydived. Skydove. They have skydrove together.
Skydave.
So many times. They do everything together. They're the Power Rangers.
Fuck yeah, look at them there in their color-coded jumpsuits, which are tied to their secret identities.
Yes, I was going to say, it does immediately bring to mind, how does Angel Grove not know they're the Power Rangers? Surely.
They do keep introducing themselves as Power Ranger Billy, Power Ranger Tommy.
I mean, fuck. I mean, I'm Bob.
Enrolled
Fuck
in
Billy.
school like that.
Billy says, I'm Power Ranger Tommy, so obviously it throws them off.
They bloody land, and a character I completely fucking forgot is in this movie is introduced. Little fucking Timmy kid.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot him. Forgot his whole deal.
Yeah, wonder why. So we've also got Rocky and Bullwinkle, or whatever their names are.
Bulk and Skull.
Skull
Exactly
and
their names.
Bulk. Yeah,
But
Bulk
look,
and
enough
Skull.
talk. Enough talk. Roller skating sequence I don't remember.
Oh, really? That's
15 minutes into the
that
movie
is the
now.
one thing I've been looking forward to.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Well, it's over
They
now.
dangerously trespass on a construction site.
Yeah.
And just as Bulk and Skull land in said construction site, what are you guys doing here? What about those kids who just skated through? They're pretty hot.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Less hot children.
Can't have you around the construction site. Get out of here. Yeah, and they find Ivan Ooze.
Yeah. Ivan Ooze
Fuck.
shows up. 25 minutes into the movie. we get some shots of Zordon and Alpha. I don't remember Zordon looking
No,
quite
he's-
so doughy.
Oh, he
put
looks
on a
better
bit.
than he does in the series. He's better defined, but yes, slightly doughy.
I love ripped
Um,
Zordon.
This happens because the Power Rangers get... He's so fucking hench.
Children,
This happens...
have you noticed my swell?
I've been working
I've
out
been-
my forehead.
Getting real
I've been
vascular.
cutting.
Aye. So this happens because the Power Rangers get a call, come to the center immediately. The center, the command, wherever the fuck the place
YMCA.
is. YMCA. When is this
The
happening?
soup kitchen.
They go there, and then when they come back, it's nighttime now, and Ivan oozes out. If only we hadn't spent all day getting to and from the command center. I mean, really, couldn't it have been a phone call?
Surely.
Like,
The 90s.
Zordon's such a dick. It's just like, just transport us, please.
He never transports us back. No, now is your own time. I'm not
You've
paying
just-
for you.
The buses leave every hour. You've just missed the last one. So,
I'm going to go work out now.
Ew, gross.
Too kind. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the galactically feared, globally reviled, universally despised. They call me Ivan Ooze.
No, I was going to say, at this point, we get a very quick crash course onto Ivan Ooze, do we not? He's a guy that was around
Bad dude.
6,000 years ago, wanted
Doesn't like
to
kids.
take over the planet through big things.
evil.
Big
Yes.
Zords.
Big Zords. And he
Through-
enslaves parents.
Yes. Through reminding everybody of Robert England slightly. And
The-
so he calls upon his ooze boys to fight the Power Rangers. And we get a first
Oozy
fuck
woozies.
fight scene.
Yeah!
Action
I
boy
do-
now. Action girl
Oh,
now.
Yeah, that's the best
Fuck
fucking
me,
song.
that song. God damn.
That is the best song. I love that. And that's after Ivan Ooze just disappears in a weird blue of light, and Tommy says, he's gone! Like it's a weird mystery. You all just did that.
Yeah. I thought only we could do it. Kids. Attractive kids.
And it's also after he assumes a cunning disguise for no reason.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking with you. It's Halloween,
Hey, it's
probably.
fuck with you. Oh, and also there was a brief cameo there from the television bad guys, and Rita Repulsa is given very little time to still be the best, but does manage it.
Yeah.
You egg-sucking purple pinhead! The Rangers are going after the great power! I thought you said this guy was the master of disaster. He's nothing but a slime-infested jelly donut!
Yeah, it's impressive
We're
commitment.
introduced to Power Rangers' favorite mode of transport, which is backflipping.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Look, many zingers are said, and there's some great sound effects to be enjoyed. It's kind of like The Descendants. Honestly, it's about as good as that.
Welcome to my nightmare. Ever play kick the can?
Kiss the makeup!
Let me get the door. Use, you lose.
You guys make me sick.
Back off. Nice fight. Later, dudes.
It's gonna be one messy night.
Going airborne. These guys don't know when to quit. Double whammy. You're on.
Yeah, I think we've touched upon all the reference points I've listed so far. And also Kimberly says, "Have a nice trip. See you next fall." And
Yes.
I'm reminded of another
Yeah.
film later,
Yes.
much later.
I do wonder if Christopher Nolan saw this movie, because not only do you have that, the Have a Nice Trip, Say Next Fall, which is famously uttered by a cop in The Dark Knight, but later on, when the Power Rangers return and Ivan Ooze is on a top of a building and says, "Inconceivable," is that not Bane seeing the flaming thing? Impossible.
Nolan, noted Power Rangers fan.
I guess confirmed
Yeah.
Power Rangers fan.
Confirmed now.
He's actually Billy.
Well, he appreciates them because I don't think they sit down until the very end until all the job's done. So they're too busy.
Look, they need to change into Power Rangers, so we get into some awkward close-ups and morph. And we get to look at these cinematic Power Ranger costumes. Oh, those aren't quite as cinematic as I remember. Why are the faces so weird?
Yeah.
Why are they all smushed up like they're... I don't know, like their chins are turned up or something.
Yeah. Tommy's
Cool.
cool.
Weird. Tommy's always cool.
He's really not.
Shut up, Sean. You don't know about Tommy.
I'm Team Red.
The morphing takes so long that the enemies all just leave, and they
Yeah.
go and hunt them in the sewers for a bit.
Yeah.
And is it Trini? No, it's not Trini. Sorry, it's Aisha, replacement for
Yeah.
Trini, sorry. She activates the power beams, which are 2 dull flashlights in her helmet only.
Yes, it's one of several plot points that were scrapped from filming, which is Zordon gives them new powers in their suits.
Oh, man. And does that include Red Ranger's Terminator vision?
It does.
Well, so he should just got shitty headlamps. He's got, like, infrared and tracking
Just be
abilities.
glad you didn't get Billy's. Billy's was like a hearing audio sensor thing, which is just 2 big things strapped to his ears. It would have been amazing.
This is Kimberly's bit of string as well.
She can play with it and accessorize.
Well, Ivan Ooze turns up at the command center at the YMCA. He finds
Yeah, he
Zordon
does.
stealing soup from a dead homeless man, and he goes, "Well, your time's up, you idiot, you big bald Burke." And
he destroys all his gym equipment and
oozes it
and
up.
the vending machine.
Yeah.
And escapes, and that's Zordon fucked.
Yeah, I'm going to make a bunch of references that I shouldn't know, but fuck it.
Oh, the things that I have missed! The Black Plague! The Spanish Inquisition! The Brady Bunch reunion!
It's good. I like it. It's like Robin Williams. So they return, and yes, the command center's all fucked, but luckily...
It's all fucked, Zordon.
It's all fucked.
Although,
Fucking hell!
I gotta say, I love that Kimberly's first thought is, what happened here? You fucking know what happened here.
Luckily, there is just enough power left within the sort of command center to transport our heroes from the American city of Sydney, Australia, to the far-off distant planet of a different part of New South Wales, Australia. Whoa!
It's so diverse.
Ivan Ooze has an answer to this, though. He's summoning something. Oh, crap! What's he summoning? Oh, I remember what he's summoning. The weird bird things with their bass line.
That's how I felt when I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, these guys. Okay.
Oh, yeah. They're
Kimberly
great.
shows off a string. And,
By string, I hope you mean character bonding moment, because they actually have a character moment on the planet. Hey, remember Zordon? Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, you okay?
I was just thinking about Zordon. You know, everything we've been through together.
Look, he's gonna make it. We'll find this power. And then send that slimeball Ivan Ooze back to the sewer he crawled out of. Come on.
Yeah, I actually took a note of that. It takes 37 minutes for 2 Rangers to interact with one another.
Yeah. It's powerful. I felt moved.
Because they're meant to be dating, those two.
Yes.
yeah.
I felt it. I felt their chemistry, thanks to how great Tommy is and hunky.
A woman comes along with some noisy sticks and scares off the birds.
And an even skimpier outfit.
Yeah, this is what you're supposed to wear, you idiot. Especially you, Billy.
Of course she's fucking Australian. They probably just found her already in that outfit on the set.
Just wandering around.
My autumn outfit.
They had Mariska Hargitay as Dulcia.
Yes. Well, this lady who we actually have, I can't remember the actor's name, she got sick, and so they recast her with the person you just said.
Yes.
I know just about enough of this. And then she didn't work out, and the first lady got better, so they just brought her back. There was a lot of redundant choosing in all this.
But the problem is that she was down. Mariska was down there for filming. They didn't use her. She went back. She flew back to the States to be with her family for Christmas. After the holiday period, she called up the producers, being like, "Am I ready to come back?" And they go, "Nah, you're fired. Fuck off."
Wow.
Whoops. It's fine. My childhood is fine.
But anyway, yeah, Dulcia goes, you got to leave now. You can't be here. And they go, "Oh, but Zordon said." Did you say Bordon? No, he said Zordon. Oh,
Martha,
oh, forget it. She climbs them over some rocks that are probably now protected sites of natural wonder that you can't get within 50 feet of, in order to get to the soundstage where she lives. And
it's stark, bleak place.
right next to the power center.
Right next to the power center where they need to get their new powers. But first of all, they're all going to be given animals to match their characters. You're really strong, so you're a bear. You're really strong, so you're an ape. You're pretty strong, so you're a wolf. You're strong, so you're a frog. That's dumb. Look, the CGI artists have a very limited range.
We've already got the frog from Animorphs, so... Yeah, I am a frog. Yeah, but one that you kiss to turn into a prince. Yeah, but I'm still a frog.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's all better now.
Yeah, I mean, if someone were to eat you, there's a chance that they could develop a really bad stomach condition.
Oh, will they die? No.
No, we were pretty good at treating frog-related consummation incidents now.
Just like we're good at treating you. Anyway, off to...
You could go to Australia and really fuck up their ecosystem. Yeah.
It's worth noting that during this time, concurrently on Earth, Ivan Ooze has developed his ooze into a toy for all the kids. He's even got a graphics designer on hand to make the label straight up.
Goldar.
Yeah,
I did the best I could.
I would have used different coloring.
Why couldn't I have done it? You're not appearing in this film, Baboon, or whatever your name is. So Dulcia at this point says, I wish I could come with you, Rangers, but if I leave this plateau, I'll stop being hot. And I'm not prepared to do that, so...
There's just absolutely no way I'm going to do that.
And let's be fair, you don't want to see that either, Rangers.
I'd rather be an owl. Look. Oh. Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Pretty good. Yeah, it is.
Oh. Anyway, I guess we didn't earn these powers, so we've got to go and do something.
And then they wait all night. Until they leave. Apparently they're on a time crunch, but I've realized that no ranger is capable of doing fucking anything unless Tommy says yes.
Yeah. Billy's like, we better go. And everyone looks at Tommy. We got time.
We did just miss the last bus.
Look, all is lost back on Earth. Look at these grim antics.
Let's have some fun. Hey, you! Dance. Do the swim.
I'm so scared. He gets the guy to do the Macarena.
Yeah, he gets Peter Kay to do the Macarena.
But what's that weird bass line? Oh, the Tengu warriors are back. Great. And they can talk. Let's hear their menacing voices.
How did you fare?
It couldn't have gone better.
Threw one of them off a mountain, went into a raging river.
One of them's Cabal.
Oh,
that's the highlight of the movie for me. The two very different characters of the Tengu warriors. Yeah. Fuck you is the most characterization in this goddamn movie.
I loved it.
So,
there's some antics, right? And then they get the great power.
Well, yeah, they go through apparently the most harrowing trial that any intergalactic being has ever gone through, which is one bone dinosaur and 4 rock monsters.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus, only the most powerful warriors. They transform into their ninja outfits, and I suddenly remember, oh shit, I had those as action figures. They had like flippy heads.
Yes, they did.
They had like their human heads, and you could flip it, and the ninja head would come out.
With a stunning rendition of each actor.
It's uncanny.
At this stage, I accidentally start the film again, and I learned that on Apple TV, no button I push would actually just hit it on fast forward, so I had to just hit the RB button repeatedly to shift it forward 10 seconds at a time.
As it was meant to be experienced.
Meanwhile, mass suicide is happening.
Oh, fuck yeah. Can't wait for that. Yep, there's a weird cult leader thing. They all drank the Kool-Aid. Kids, you'll get that reference one day, and you'll be all the worse for it. I mean, what does that mean?
I realise we're not even an hour in.
The great power is unveiled. And thank God there's exactly 5 of them. It's always awkward when, 2 people have to share.
Yeah.
There's 6 of them.
Yeah, there's 6.
Have to share the frog as well.
Yeah. You 2 share the frog. No, why don't you share the fucking falcon? Pretty sure he's mine.
Falcon's a lone wolf. And the wolf's a lone wolf.
Fuck the frog.
Stupid
Frog's a piece of shit. You both have it. Look, we don't want to ruin one of the good ones, okay? Yeah, they find the great power. They come back to
Angel Grove,
Sydney. Yeah, Sydney, Los Angeles.
And they fucking win. Save you half an hour of footage. Oh wait, no, sorry, Paul. The monorail's in trouble.
Oh no!
No! Well, also there's 2 big robots smacking up the place, so it's time to summon these awesome Zords. Let's get a look at them. Oh boy.
Are we watching Lawnmower Man?
Oh my god. Did that CGI run out of fashion 1 week after they did it?
I swear to God I remember being fucking wowed by that. Why can they all fly? One of them's a bear. This movie isn't very accurate.
I'll tell you what's not accurate. I like the fact that a 10-year-old kid has the power to say, your parents are in trouble. Stop this really cool party and come with me. And they do.
Yeah. Well, after he interrupts the party, the only way that a 90s party could have been interrupted, which is a double 2-fingered whistle.
Yeah.
Which I can't do.
That'll stop No, I can't either. That's why I was ignored solidly throughout the 90s.
I went to no parties.
Oh, God. Well, luckily the Falcon Zord has rockets that can just destroy one of them outright. They always did give Tommy the best shit. Meanwhile, Kimberly's got a new and enhanced piece of string.
It's double long.
And the ape can, I don't know, grab things.
Yeah. And the frog's there. He goes, you know what happens if you play with fire? You get burned with electricity. And he zaps him with his bit of string.
We've got to make concessions. So, the Ninja Falcon Megazord is assembled, and it defeats the final form of the Ooze robot. I'm really glad that some of the spirit of the Japanese show made it into this.
It did beg a pressing question, which is, do all emergency buttons result in dick kicks?
I hope so. I hope
That's my emergency button.
I remember not getting that as a kid. I remember thinking, because it's clearly a joke. The joke is that you have to press so many switches and press a button just to do a dick kick. But as a kid, I was like, oh wow, the superpower. It's kneeing him a bit. That's like a super knee button.
Your mum's just staring at you, shaking her head.
Yeah, let me demonstrate, son. So,
stop crying. Third time's a charm.
Go to a party.
If you can't do the double finger whistle, then at the very least this will help. The parents march towards a tragic end, the tragic end of their indentured servitude, as the kids try to use their can-do attitude to stop their relentless march to the grave. Metaphor? Maybe.
The opposite of what happens.
Look, all that's left is to save Zordon with the power of love. Oh, they flew Ooze into a comet, so that's fine.
The comet that was mentioned once, I think, at the beginning of the film.
Hey, that's good setup. That's like Die Hard.
Yeah, you're right. They're the exact same film.
Yeah, they save Zordon with the power of love.
Remember what we learned? To those who possess the great power, all things are possible.
Yay! Come on, kids. Pray those dead parental figures back to life. It didn't work? Your love is weak. They saved Zordon, and they loved him so much that it fixed his fucking house, too. Zordon comes back to life, and they share an awkward silence, and that's the end of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then, there's a firework display. Bulk and Skull get to be great for a bit, and that's the end.
Yeah. Go Power Rangers.
They get to use their
Rangers.
Use their fireworks that presumably they always keep on hand in case the Rangers, save a day again.
Well, to be fair,
it
does happen.
It saves money.
Like the Power Ranger sign. My enthusiasm's really gone out of it. Most of the letters are burned out now. All right, so on revisit, Sean, let's start with you. How did you find the Power Rangers, the movie?
I remember, I think
Morphin.
I texted you, Paul, and I was just like, this first scene is fucking awesome. This is what the whole film's going to be like? And it was. And that's both good and bad.
It was literally all this was, yeah.
Yeah. It's an extended episode with less character development and a slightly bigger budget.
Although I don't know if this Hollywood movie had the budget of the Japanese television show.
Yeah.
That's fair, but there's a it was fun. It was okay. It was good. I think my major thing is I'm shocked that you can have 6 characters and I cannot tell you their differences in personality through the movie alone.
It's unbelievable. Goodman, how did you find it?
Oh, it's a shit. I really didn't like it. The first minute, I went, oh, wow, look at this cool skydiving. And then 3 minutes later, I went, still doing it, hey? Okay.
Yeah, they eked it out.
For the first 20 minutes, there was quite a lot of, oh, yeah, it's all coming back to me. Look at them.
Yeah.
I will say, fight scenes better than some of the shit we've seen recently, but only because they just let you see some of the stuff. The quipping and sound effects are unbearable. Sampling the fight scenes it's just a nightmare of sound, but I imagine could be quite funny in the same way that the final scene of The One would be. I definitely wrote down The Descendants. I feel like it was pitched somewhere between that and Seeing Double for me. Which Sean, if you're not aware, is the S Club 7 movie about like a scientist creating clones of them, and they go off and try and assume their identities. But it's like the same sort of saccharine. Hey, anything's possible if you believe.
Yeah.
And then some S Club songs. I've got the first half hour went fairly quickly, and I was surprised. And then the rest of it just dragged, son. They're like, you've seen one fight scene, seen them all.
Yeah.
There were no character moments. The Power Rangers don't earn a goddamn thing. We don't know any more about the kid except he wants his dad back. And it's just that.
Yeah.
It's just more and whoosh, and flips.
So many
And
flips.
I needed more than that from a kids' film.
Yeah, I would echo many of those points. I think it was so strange coming back to this. So many scenes would start, and it would all just come flooding back to me. Like the dinosaur attack scene, I was just suddenly like, oh wait, I do actually know every beat of this. And it's just that knowledge has been dormant in my head for decades. What's particularly strange, though, are the echoes of the emotions I felt when I used to watch this all the time as a boy. Like when Alpha 5 goes to hit Ivan Ooze, I remember feeling really scared for Alpha. But it's a joke. It's a joke sequence, that moment. It's a laugh. And I just remember being really intimidated by it and him. And it's,
yeah, I got that.
Oh, God. I remember being really scared for the parents marching for their deaths and that feeling of helplessness the kids must have been feeling. And at the end, when it said, "Thank you, Power Rangers," on the sign, I remember being profoundly moved by that as a kid.
Aww.
It's really weird.
You said that to your mum. Mother, I am profoundly moved.
I request another. I gotta say, I think, Paul, to echo what you're saying as well, is that it's the echo of how I felt as a child.
Yeah.
So I had this rush of adrenaline throughout the entire film, and each new scene I would go, oh yeah, I remember this, and I was just crushed by the end of it, going, oh, was that it?
Yeah.
And it's notable because the directors of the film did not know the Power Rangers. They did a speed run of the series, got this basic idea of what it was meant to be, and it just doesn't land. Like, nothing lands, nothing has consequence. And when you have all 6 characters being quippy, rebellious teenagers, none of it means anything.
Well, exactly. There's no characterization, which we'll come to, but it was interesting because I don't think I've ever returned. I don't know if I've ever returned to anything that I used to watch so much after such a long time away from it. Because movies like Jurassic Park and Toy Story, I just never stopped, watching now and then. Yeah. And even if I hadn't, I like to think it would still have landed in much the same way as it did when I was a kid, those movies. So there was very strange dissonance with this one. As for what I thought as an adult, I really thought that Ebert was exaggerating when he said that there were no characters, because I did read that first, but bloody hell.
Yeah.
And by some way of explanation, I can turn to Arnie Olsen, who wrote the movie, who said this in an interview with Flickering Myth. While writing the story was no issue for Olsen, there were some shackles holding over from the series that were hampering his script. You weren't allowed to have any character arcs or any conflict, he recalls. This is a terribly difficult thing to do as a writer. It's almost an impossible situation to overcome. These were squeaky clean kids who all got along. The showrunners just had this rule from the TV show to keep it simplistic, and they didn't want characters that fought or characters that were flawed. So that was one of the things that the movie suffered for. Now, I'm not sure I buy that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to hear that came from the showrunners, and I wonder if he's being truthful there, because I went back and watched a few episodes of the original series.
Me
and
too.
I suggested the two of you watch the first episode, The Day of the Dumpster. Did you manage to do that?
Yeah. And I did it an hour ago, and straight away I can tell you distinct characterizations of each 5 characters.
Absolutely. You've got them immediately. Zach's the wise guy, Jason is your stoic nice guy, Billy's the nerd, Kimberly is a kind of valley girl type, and Trini is also the nerd, but a girl. It's basic, but it's characterization that is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodman, did you get time to...
No, it's been an eventful week in Melbourne.
What?
Oh shit, has there been another Godzilla attack I've not heard about?
Yeah, it's we don't like to talk about it, but I'm dead.
Everyone has a Zord and the economy's collapsing.
Shit.
Yeah, when everyone has a Zord, it's not special anymore, is it?
And the Australian Prime Minister's promised to provide enough fuel to keep them all going. Said it's way more important than any other issue.
Promised to lift his boot off the faces of the poor for a second so they can take a breath like a swimmer would.
Just another thing to note on that first episode of a TV series is that they take moments to find distinct partnerships and in the way that they feel. Like, for example, there's a point where, because Walter, who plays the Black Ranger, Zach, he's the skeptic of the group as well. And there's a point where they're presented with this option to become superheroes and Power Rangers, and Kimberly and Zach are the 2 that walk away, and the other 3 stay. And there's you're getting already a sense of where their thoughts and feelings and ethics and morals lie.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're not talking Avatar or Adventure Time here, but there's definitely something for them to be getting on with. In the first episode, Billy is insecure about his abilities and has to overcome that. In the second one, Trini is too risk-averse. You know, the guys aren't pitching in with the chores in the third one. It's small, but it makes the characters more unique and interesting.
There's enough conflict.
There's enough conflict there for them to be bouncing off of each other and having some stuff to deal with, and that's really sorely missing in this.
There is no conflict in this movie.
It's ridiculous, the fact that there's this. I mean, genuinely, how many lines do you suppose they exchange that aren't quips during action scenes?
I would say probably like maybe in total 10, and that most of those would come from the Kimberly and Tommy scene by the rocks in Sydney, Australia.
There was that one scene where I think Billy is beckoning Kim to backflip after him, and
that was
and there's
amazing.
one of those which isn't a quip.
Yeah,
right behind you, Kim.
That's ridiculous, but
fun.
God. You know, there are still things that I appreciated, and I gotta say, Paul Freeman as Ivan Ooze was great.
Oh,
that was
pretty
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote the note, equal parts Robert Englund, and then I didn't finish the sentence because it didn't matter, because Paul Freeman was great.
I will not only destroy him, I will obliterate his entire legacy. It will be as if Zordon of Eltar never existed.
When I was a kid, I would have said, oh, the best characters, that's going to be this guy with his cool lance, or this guy with his awesome sword. Who are the worst characters? Probably Bulk and Skull, because they're so lame. And then you grow up and you realize, oh, those guys were doing so much.
Yes.
Yeah. They are so much the reason why this was so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's weird how when you're a kid, you get drawn to like the action people, and you grow up and realize, oh, the comic relief is actually doing a lot of hard work here.
Actually quite good, yeah.
Even like one of the great lines being when you finally see Rita and Lord Zed, who have, if you come from the series, you know how much of the primary antagonists that they were. Their character arcs to go, nah, fuck Ooze, go Rangers, go! I'm like, that's genuinely funny.
Yeah, it's just when you watch the show, it's just a bit more over the top and weird. Incorporating the Japanese footage means that they had to come up with some wild storylines to do so, because that footage is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Without any of the Japanese footage, this is a little dry and straightforward, and I think this premise just worked better as a TV show. If they wanted to make a film of it, it needed more polishing. They had to do a Batman 89 with it and really adapt the material into a grander vision. Because like you said earlier, this is just a long episode of the show with all the fun bits diluted with extra flips and quips. But I disagree with Ebert. He said it was harmful. I don't think it's harmful.
Harmful?
I think it's... He said it's genuinely harmful. He was kind of harsh. I think it's fine, it's silly, and for the right crowd a bit of fun, but I also think that they could have done a lot better with this material.
Yeah. It was harmful to my Friday night. I resented having to watch it. So thank you, Sean.
You're super welcome. Considering my alternative was a Scorpion King, that may have been a better idea, actually. Oh well. I'll see you in 18 months.
I'll suck my teeth into that in a second.
Oh, fuck. Quick fire.
Quick fire.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It was interesting to revisit. I really was very curious, and the waves of nostalgia were quite powerful. And it's put Power Rangers back in my life, so I'm quite grateful for that, because it's a silly old thing, and it's still going.
I said,
and
I'm sorry.
It's still going, and they're still taking footage from the Japanese show.
Yeah, the reason I know all this is that I helped someone audition for the latest series last year.
Dino Blasters, or whatever it's called.
Beast Morphers, I think.
Beast Morphers, that's the one I watched the pilot episode of this morning.
And it's actually not bad.
It's alright. It's kind of cool. Oh, shit. Alright, let's quick fire.
I just love Ivan Ooze. As far as someone that is quipping the entire time, a lot of them seem to be more references with a reason. This is someone that has spent 6,000 years being out of the game, so he's kind of catching up very quickly and relishing. And he just brings an energy that the film was sorely lacking, that didn't feel just bullshit. So I relished every time Ivan Ooze was on screen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll follow on from that. A really great Ivan Ooze moment is the, I'm going to say poem that his like advertising poem for the kids.
His rhyming indoctrination.
That's the
one. I
one.
had that.
I promise you all, you just can't lose when you've got your own supply of Ivan's ooze.
What are we supposed to do with it?
Show it to your parents. Show it to your friends. When you've got your ooze, the fun never ends.
Rhyming indoctrination is your new EP. Your anti-state thesis. With just, the final line being, and if your parents try to stop you, just throw it in their faces. And it's just such a great slap in the face of a line. I loved it.
It's great. It's like the Addams Family movie. It's yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm gonna go with some Bulk and Skull because they're not in it much, but early on they get some moments.
Yeah.
When they're on the plane bullshitting that they, are the real athletes here. Kimberly says something like, "Well, why don't you go first?" And Bulk just sort of nods sagely to this suggestion, like, "Yes, I think I will." And it's just a really great bit of face acting. And then after having landed in the construction yard, they try to bullshit their way into suggesting that they're actually foremen.
We're from the Angel Grove Building Inspector's office. Yeah, that building's supposed to be over there. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I thought that was excellent.
Was great. And then when the guy who's trying to tell them to go away gets called away, Skull just goes, "Go on, Dave."
Yeah.
Like he lets him go.
Yeah.
I've got it. It's the one time that I felt the Power Rangers got what they got what was coming to them. It's when they're in the riverside with the Tengu, the bird warriors.
Oh yeah.
And they've been quipping the entire movie, and finally the quipping gets them in trouble. Like they spend so much time making funny little one-liners that it gets them hurt, and I thoroughly enjoyed that.
And I will say, Kimberly at one point gets like gripped by one of the birds, and it flies off, like dangling her. That looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Like she looked like she was flying through the air. I didn't see any wires or anything. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, she actually flew.
Yeah, she actually flew. They got flying birds. They bred those. Christopher Nolan style.
Yeah, is it?
He grew some corn. He didn't breed any bird people, but Christopher Nolan style.
the I'll take some kid when Ivan Ooze is he's giving away his slime. It just cuts to a kid's face, and he goes,
I'll take some. There you go.
And I just wonder if he got any notoriety going forward in life as the I'll take some kid, because he was such a.
That was Ryan Gosling, Paul.
Oh my god. You only wish.
Casting director was at home and just like, yes, get him into Goosebumps, Say Cheese and Die.
Just bullied forever, decades, even now.
The only solution was to become Ryan Gosling. I'll go for the cool aerial stuff. I'm still in the prologue with Mike. I don't have that many. They do tail off as my enthusiasm wanes. But they did some really cool aerial stunts. The stunt doubles of the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Including Awesome Tommy on his board, his air board.
Whoa! Kim the Pink Ranger does a pretty graceful flip out the plane, or her stunt double.
Good stuff. After she assures us that she will catch us on the flip side.
Fuck yeah.
She lied.
That's how you know she's cool. I've been waiting on the flip side for many years.
No Amy Jo Johnson.
Didn't show once.
Nonsense.
I mean, look, overall, I have been listening to the soundtrack for this entire morning, but there's one particular music sting that I really loved, which was at the end of their initial fight scene with the oozes in the construction site. As soon as they finish and they're in their posing line, there's like a little level up music sting that I like to imagine just meant they're now level 2 Rangers. And I got a pleasant little endorphin release out of that.
I'm just going to talk about some great kicks from Billy the Blue Ranger. When it was him, when he was not the Blue Ranger, he was just Billy, Skydiver Billy.
David Yost.
Yeah, and he's just pure David Yost, 100% uncut. He does a few like very rapid snap kicks, and I'm not sure which style of fighting this is, but it's like
I just realized something very exciting about David Yost. He's a gymnast, so maybe this is the Jim Carter we were hungering for from Mitch Gaylord.
Oh my god! Imagine. It's a very, I don't know how to describe it too well, but it's like it's kicks without putting his foot down. So he launches in with one kick.
Oh, I see. Like chains them.
Whilst that foot is up, it's just very rapid,
nice.
almost Chun-Li style. It was very good, and it was. I mean, it looks like Billy. Either that, or they got somebody. They got Billy's twin, Dilly.
They definitely just got people who could do this sort of thing and then taught them to act. Possibly trial by fire.
Well, I read that David Yost revealed that he did practice a martial art, but didn't say which one.
Oh, okay, cool.
You figure it
It's
out.
a secret.
Yeah.
It was Jim Carter. He's been training with Mitch Gaylord, I'm telling you. It's a massive Jim Carter resurgence that we all needed.
The Black Jim Carter cabal.
Fuck yeah, no one can mess with him. Not near a pommel horse anyway. Yeah, I'll go for the bad guys' voices. As soon as they come back, Zed, Rita, and Goldar, just their voices really filled me with joy. Because this was before I rewatched any of the shows, so just...
Wah.
You spent 2,000 years looking for a tub of snot?
Patience, know them out. What?
No, we never liked those dingle dorks in the first place.
Goldar! Really, just really made it.
It was almost disgusting, Goldar's voice. It was so
Yeah.
like he was just like
Right, boss.
always on the cusp of puking.
Yeah, it really is. When you watch the TV show, there are so many moments where you can kind of hear the point where the actor must have just collapsed.
It's like they've taken a very filed down ruler and is just scraping his vocal cords from the inside.
Yeah.
Got his thumb in there.
Good job, boss.
I've got a moment from when they've got ripped Zordon outside of his time warp and he's slowly dying. And there's finally a moment where one of the Rangers does something different to the rest of them, where all of them are pulled aside by Alpha to go talk about this, where they can find this sexy Amazon warrior princess on a different planet. And they've left, and they leave Kimberly alone with a genuine bit of acting, watching over Zordon and caring for him, and just the slightest slither of individuality.
Yeah, you've got to cherish those moments.
I just gotta say, Weekend Zordon was pretty sad when he was lying there.
Oh yeah, that really got to me.
Rangers. Thank goodness you are safe.
We gotta get you back inside.
I'm afraid that is impossible. The power has been destroyed.
I remember
was
as a kid how
upsetting.
upsetting that was to see him. It's
So
like
fragile.
You know, it's like E.T. when he's dead. You know, he goes all white. It's just really heartbreaking.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Rita Repulsa, Gilbert Gottfried levels of commitment there with the voice.
Why care about some stupid egg?
This is no ordinary egg.
Well, I say we hard-boil that thing.
God, I love her. I was going to tack this onto yours earlier, Sean, but as they teleport, there's a sort of, I guess you call it like a descaling guitar sound as they teleport, and I love that. Fucking love that shit. Because that was just a mild one. Can I also have, oh yeah, we've already mentioned it, but
Right behind you, Kimberly.
as he then cartwheels back behind her is almost a Zucker Brothers shot. It's so perfect. It's just pure
constant
comedy.
backflips. It's unreal.
Yeah. It's just the idea they can have a meaningful conversation while both backflipping.
Yeah.
So, how was your weekend?
You know how it was, Billy. You were there.
I can't remember his name, but it's not Goldar. It's the pig one. The one that was made expressly for the film because they didn't want to pay any of the other actors.
Yes, he was new. Oh, is that why? Okay. That fucking old tinkerer dude really demanded hand over fist for money.
He has a few quips that I genuinely enjoyed, which is when, so for example, when Ivan Ooze does the snot, there's just a genuine kind of surprise of.
Good distance.
Yeah.
And there's also when they're in the ooze construction site. I think I can't remember the context, but he says something to the effect of
You forget, I'm a master of disguise.
How could I forget? I never knew.
Oh yeah, that is quite good. He says it with a good delivery on that.
Yeah, he's probably one of the more genuine characters, I guess, which is a weird thing to say, but he was.
He's living in the moment.
Tommy was so fucking cool. Everybody, shut up, Sean.
Yeah.
And I realised this when they all, when they all looked super lame announcing their Zords at the beginning. They've been doing all their fighting, and then we get a fixed shot of each one of them announcing.
Yeah. Slight tracking with the same background.
Yeah, and they look so awkward. They've been given no information about what they need to do, just the line, and they've gone action. But then they all sort of go, oh, Billyzord, whatever, and but then it gets to Tommy, and he's it's like Tommy has stood back and watched every single one of these dopes mess it up and be like, fuck that, yo, I'm gonna do this right, and he just gives it so much sauce and so much physical oomph that I was like, fuck yeah, Power Rangers is good now.
Let's do it, guys. Right. It's Morphin time. Triceratops, Tyrannosaurus, Mastodon,
Saber-tooth tiger,
White Tiger.
And I thought Tommy, the guy playing him, again, forget his name, other David Yost, was just really
Fuck, I've almost got his name. Is he?
throughout.
He's the guy I think who has 3 first names.
Yeah,
Like
I think it's Jason David Frank.
That's
J.
the
Jonah
one.
Jameson, Frank.
Yeah,
I found him really charming all the way through.
He was really charming, and I really liked at the very end. I think he spends the whole movie with his hair back. I would have noticed otherwise. But at the very end of the movie, it's all sort of out and big. And I just looked at him and was like, he looks like just the nice guy.
The
he
nice
looks like
man.
the good guy.
He was just so
he looks
nice.
He's really fucking big, but you can't hold it against him because he's just the best guy.
Yeah, because he hugs you all the time.
And that's
big
that's
arms,
okay.
Makes you feel safe.
Yeah.
It's okay when he does it. Okay, I will go with the swooshing sound as they move.
Heads up, guys! Over there!
Which is a carryover from the TV show, but I just love it. I love the swooshing sound whenever they move their bodies around whilst they're in their It's ridiculous, but I enjoy it.
I'm a sucker for bullshit technology talk. I don't know what the hell Alpha was saying when he was talking about what was going wrong with the command center, but the calibrators are fluctuating 3% to the left. Fuck.
Calculators veering.
Nah, it always brings a bit of joy.
When Lord Zed is introduced, he goes,
I am Lord Zed, sworn enemy of all that is good and decent.
There you go. No, I know who he is now.
Thank you, I'm caught up.
That's efficient character work.
I enjoyed how frank and rubbish that was.
I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'll go with 3 shots that look good. First of all, the moody shot of them all stalking around in the darkness was quite good after the enemies have fled. You know, these big, ridiculous, bright Power Rangers sort of moving around in this dark shadow. It was quite pleasing in a sort of 80s cult kind of way, like demons or something. And then Rita Repulsa's Moon Fortress looked great. We get a very brief glimpse of it, and it looks fantastic.
New Brian Eno album.
It's the best one yet. And finally, the ancient ruins of the Jetty look quite nice. I enjoyed that. It's like Weathertop.
You know what I genuinely enjoy is that they take time to show that the Power Rangers aren't always these infallible fighting machines. Like, they can get hurt, and they can do stupid mistakes. Like, I wrote this as a note. Why the fuck did Rocky think this would be a good idea? When he leaps from a rafter onto a Rockman on a precarious ledge, which means he just bounces off the Rockman and almost falls to his death. I'm like, yeah, you are kind of also just stupid teenagers that don't always think things through. And I
That's good.
I enjoy that.
I'll save you and maybe get laid. I just love the smears of colour they become when they transport to the command center. It's great. It's just smearing all over my heart.
Aww. It's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a great shot of the rhino skeleton thing chasing Tommy. It's right behind him. He is only just in front of it, and it's one shot as he goes up the tree and backflips onto its back. And that's, it's pretty good. Look good.
2 consecutive moments where Tommy kicks an ooze boy and they fly ridiculously through the air. I really enjoyed. Clearly wire work, but it's just such a beautiful arc that they traverse. And then the line,
what is that odious stench? Smells like teenagers.
Which is a 90s line, isn't it? It's best left there.
Absolutely. I enjoyed a guy gets split in half, and then Billy drops into the place where his 2 halves just was.
Oh, yes, I did have that one.
And he strikes a ridiculous pose and then says, talk about a splitting headache.
Yeah.
And it's just the combination of the timing of it and the ridiculousness of him doing a pose in order to deliver this line was really pleasing to me.
Oh.
I would say there's a fairly good dynamic composite shot of White Ranger in the cockpit of his Falcon Zord, where we're in a close-up kind of on the side of him, and then the Falcon Zord sweeps away into a long shot, and it's sort of one continuous shot, and that's good. Very Star Warsy. And then finally it did look quite good when the Megazord was thrown through that building, because it was a practical effect, and they clearly just lobbed a big model of the Megazord for a building. It looked great. And that is going to do it for the things that we liked about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on Netflix.
Woo!
Woo! Goodman, what did the OGT make of it?
Oh
the
my
Mighty
God.
Morphin
Well,
OGT.
The action OGT now. Action OGT girl now.
God damn it.
Elliot J. O'Neill on Twitter said, so jealous, I would have loved to have been on this ep. I'm a massive dork for Power Rangers, and this movie is all the best kinds of terrible. It's campy, cliched, illogical, and it ends with CGI that was already dated 1 month before the movie's release. A masterpiece. No stars. Well, Elliot, you could have taken my place.
And he did.
You're not allowed to sub out, Paul. That was never part of the agreement.
It was never not part of the agreement.
I mean, if it's okay with you, let's just ADR Elliot with all your lines. It's fine.
If Elliot is prepared to do an impression of you and try and trick me into it, then I would be more than up for that. I'd like to introduce that element of mystery to the podcast.
You're always for the masquerade.
I love the pageantry Paul. You know this, and I love pageantry Paul, the other Paul that we know.
But he's done unspeakable things to us, and only you like to talk about it.
Oh yeah, I personally cancelled him. I still love him though. It's a complicated thing.
A rascal.
He's your son.
Twist. Power Rangers.
Yeah. Sean Flierl, whoever this loser is, says, "Oh, it's my revenge for you taking Mortal Kombat again. You could have taken my place, Sean." And then Dennis Higgins says, "Massive revenge for massively sexual Sean." And then he corrects himself. "Excuse me, mighty revenge for mighty sexual Sean." And I think it's because I called Baby Beard Media mighty sexual in the OG team call out. I appreciate the attention to detail there, Mr. Higgins.
I think he's also
as a concept.
He's providing some balance because I've realized in the 18 months that I haven't been on the show, I've become a weird kind of antagonist of the show, purely without my consent.
I don't know how that happened.
But I appreciate the bullying nonetheless.
It was a weird logistical issue on our end. It really ought to be that each Baby Bearder gets on once a year, so I don't know how this has happened. But I am fully prepared for your wrath to be delivered upon us all.
There you go.
Lot of Jennifer Soanes at Facebook says, "Hi there, Paulie." I told her that she could call us Paulie. Gosh, because we're desperate, we'd answer to anything. Gosh, she continues, "That is a lot of whooshing and swooping sound effects. What a great summer blockbuster. Here are my notes. 1. Music in this movie fully revertigos me to my 10-year-old state of mind.
Yep.
2. Ivan Ooze is an excellent villain because he takes down people through capitalism/consumerism.
Yes.
He does.
Yes.
Fuck the bovine masses.
Oh my god, it's got an anti-consumerist message at the heart of this Power Rangers movie.
I love this movie now.
Anti-consumer rather than consumerism, I think. Look at you pigs.
Now buy this.
Licking at whatever slot we give you.
The only way to defeat the horrible consumerist villain is to buy our new toys.
In all 3 styles.
Yeah, fuck. They gave so many opportunities for new toys in this movie. Maybe Ivan Ooze is the hero that we deserve and the villain we deserve. Definitely villain.
He's definitely the bane of this situation.
Oh
God.
That was very
good. What else
good.
did Jennifer say?
Number 3, Dulcia reminds me of Krista from 1991's Land of the Lost TV show. Plus, she is an owl? ?
She's an owl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her true form. I can be a sexy lady if I want to.
And 4, finally, teaches kids that kneeing someone in the crotch is only for emergencies, and any fight that you should find yourself in. That was my addition. That wasn't Jen's little dig. That was my advice for anybody with my frame.
Any fight I'm in is an emergency. Any strong disagreement I'm in is definitely an emergency in terms of my well-being.
Any social situation is an emergency, Paul. That's how I've lived my life.
Dick kicks are a sometimes thing.
Don't do it all the time. You'll make it less special.
That's everything. Thanks so much, OG Team. Action boy.
Thank you, OG Team. Now,
OG Team.
Excellent. Let's talk about the one better thing. The one better thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So, Sean, do you have a one better thing for us?
Oh, you know what? I think I might. It's a film that I think actually has a lower rating than Power Rangers. But it is about a bunch of colorful, unruly teens that learn the power of friendship and brotherhood.
The power of ranging.
And romping through the city and all in the name of saving the day. And it's also
Last of Us?
Super 90s. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone around the world, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1990.
Which I never saw.
Nice.
It's just before my time.
Its sequels have diminishing returns.
I've heard.
They are, how shall we say, shit. But
the
original...
Fuck. No. It's finally happening.
No.
The original film actually has character development between them. It does kind of it definitely explores the idea of brotherhood, and especially between Leonardo and Wrath. There is a clearly defined. They have 3 personality traits to rub between them. It's just it has that same 90s colorful, cliched fun. I believe it will be Quip City as well. But you can tell the difference between the turtles, and I think that's why it is already the one better thing.
Oh, I couldn't get Pacific Rim out of my head. I was just thinking of the just incredible CGI in that movie. When you got two big things smashing into each other. This movie could have done with some of that. It would have looked better if this movie would have just done it with toys, as the series did.
You can see people's hands.
Put a couple of people in big rubber suits. That's all we ever needed or wanted.
Yeah. Oh boy,
Japan always gets it right. Which brings me to my one better thing, because I didn't know that all of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was on Netflix, and it's still surprisingly fun to watch. I love how it combines the obscenely wholesome American stuff. I mean, they hang out in a juice bar, for God's sake, with the bizarre, super violent Japanese footage. And specifically Green with Evil 1 through 5 makes for a very fun little kind of mini movie. I do remember once being in a holiday kind of caravan site thing. It must have been a hotel, possibly in Lowestoft, and they had a little cinema there to show some of the family stuff, and they advertised Power Rangers the movie, and we all thought, well, that would be Power Rangers the movie, and it wasn't. It was the 5 episodes of Green with Evil strung together, which was very strange, but quite fun as well. So it might actually make for a better experience. So so we can't really be that mad. But yeah, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, still a lot of fun, I think.
Great.
But I do think that the kids who came the generation after us probably got a better deal with Adventure Time and Avatar. Fucking naughty kids, I hate that.
But at least they've got a horrible future to look forward to.
At least they've got a horrible, terrible, bleak future that we'll all lovingly be spared as we're tucked into our nice graves.
Oh, sweet release.
The one better thing. But before we get into those, how can people find out more about Sean Flierl and all of his endeavors?
Oh, well, if they want to find out about me personally, they can find me on Twitter at Sean Meets John. Sean means John. It's my new Twitter handle. Look it up. I've changed. Slurl is now dead. Dead and buried where it should be. But otherwise, you can find me.
You in it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You can find me as a part of Baby Beard Media. And as I said at the top of the show, our flagship show is Roll to Cast, ROLE, where we do a different tabletop game in a self-contained season. We're almost at the tail end of our Pulp Cthulhu season, which has your very own Paul Goodman involved in both music and sultry tones.
Oh, so sultry, those tones.
And he was
a real pleasure.
And we've been very lucky to have the boy. No, it's a blast. And if you want to hear more of what I do and hear some lovely other Australian voices, that's where you can find me inside your ears.
I'm also there, but I'm just screaming obscenities from outside of the recording studio.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
It's a very well-insulated recording studio.
I can't sleep otherwise.
It's very soothing, my particular brand of abuse. Paul, how can people find out about OGT?
Oh, you know, Roger Barber at home. Why don't you tell everybody how they can get in touch and find everything out about OGT by going on Twitter and Facebook, OGT Pod.
I've asked you before to stop miking members of our audience.
Well, no,
very weird.
You got to trust them more. He just gave them exactly what they needed.
They're so rarely doing anything relevant to what we're talking about.
Wait,
it's worked out for you this time, I'll concede.
Wait, what's that? What's that about immigrants? Oh, Roger, get off our lovely, wholesome podcast.
Racist, Roger.
I hate our listenership.
They're the worst. Don't be like Roger. Be like Bodger. He's very pro-immigrant, regardless of the situation. And you can do as he probably would if he existed. And become a patron. For as little as $1 a month, you can get access to exclusive content, such as what came out this week, Poetry Corner, where we take the synopses of films definitely randomly generated on randomer.io and turn them into beautiful poems.
Yeah, that was really great. I completely forgot we did that until just there, but it was great.
Yeah,
changed me forever.
Did the edit this morning. It was.
I'm a Patreon. Why aren't you?
Why aren't you? Are you better than Sean? No is the answer, so become a patron.
Don't even try.
Don't step to Sean, because you get stabbed.
You'll get Gorn.
Oh, nice. I'm Paul Gorn.
Sean stabbing me in the face.
And I'm an oozy boy.
Oh, yeah. Remember, the one good thing about Power Rangers... Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Did you say Mighty Orphan Power Rangers?
Mighty Porking... Oh, fuck. The Ricey Porphin Maya Mangers is that Ivan Ooze is a lot of fun until they kick him in the balls. Bloody teenagers.
Wow.